Google Forms is an amazing tool for the classroom. You can give your students a survey or a formative assessment, or even give them a quiz or a test that Google Forms will grade for you. So let's get started. To create a Google Form, you're going to start in your Google Drive. You're going to click on New, and Google Forms isn't listed right here, but if you click on More, Google Forms will be at the top. You can either click right there on Google Forms to create a new blank form, or if you're more comfortable using a template, instead of clicking on Google Forms, you're going to hover over it and go over to the arrow and click from a template, and it'll take you to a template gallery that has these beautiful templates that are already made. You can modify them for your use. They have a lot for education, but for this purpose, I'm going to show you how to create your new blank Google form. So the first thing you want to do is title your Google form. I'm going to title mine Back to School Survey. And if I click over here, you're going to see the title's going to appear. The very first question you want to make, and I learned this the hard way, is to ask your students their name. You'll see that Google Forms immediately makes it short answer because they know that the students are going to have to type in their name. And of course, you want to set this as required. From there, you have a couple options. You can either go right into the questions, or you can create a title and a description if you have different parts and different sections. So maybe I want to give the first section a title, and I might say Part 1, Tell Me About Yourself. And this section, of course, would then be all about my students' personal interests. So now I'm ready to add a question. I'm going to go ahead and hit the plus sign, and you're going to see that Google Form immediately defaults it to a multiple choice question. I can change that, and I will later, but let's take a look at the multiple choice option first. I'm going to type in a question, maybe, what is your favorite subject? Now, Google Forms thinks that's going to be a short answer, but I'm going to make it multiple choice. And I'm going to give them the options of all the different content areas. So I might put ELA, social studies, science, math. I'm going to put art, PE, music, and maybe I'm going to add other option. So maybe it's something different than that and they want to check that. Multiple choice is pretty straightforward. I always make sure they're all required. So we want to make sure that that is checked. And now I'm going to add another question. This time I'm going to show you the linear scale. So maybe I'm going to ask my students, on a scale of 1 to 5, rate your ability in ELA. Now, of course, I can change these numbers. I could have made it 1 to 10 or something like that. But now I'm going to add some labels. So 1, not confident at all. And maybe 5, I'm going to label it like I'm a rock star. And then the students will be able to choose, where they fall on that linear scale. And I'll show you what that looks like later when we preview I'm going to go ahead and make this one required. Let's add another question. There are a lot of different choices, of course. You have the short answer, the paragraph, you have the multiple choice, you have check boxes. So maybe you want to add a question where they need to check some boxes off, or maybe you want a drop-down menu where you ask a question, what's your favorite food? And maybe you give them some options. For time's sake, I'm just going to put A, B, C, D, and I just want you to be able to see what that looks like when we preview the Google Doc. There are some other good features here. Maybe I want to ask a question, and in that question, I need a picture. So I can click on the picture icon, and I can either upload one from either my computer or my Google Drive. I can take a snapshot, or if I have the web URL, I can simply copy and paste it into here, or I can search right from here for a picture that I need. So maybe I need a picture of books, and I'm going to search that, and a bunch are going to pop up. I'm going to choose one, select it, and it'll appear in my question. I can resize that, and I'm going to ask them, what is your favorite book? And then I'll just leave that short answer. Again, I'm going to make sure this is a required question. If I want to reorder my questions, I can. I can simply click the little dots at the top and sort of shift them and move them around. And some other cool features, I can insert a video. It's not going to go into a question, but maybe I have a video that I want them to watch and then maybe ask some questions on. So I can search YouTube for a video that I want, or if I already have one picked out, I can paste the URL in there. But I can find a video that I want to show them, hit select, and it'll pop up into my Google form. And then below that, I can ask some questions about it if I want to. We can also create sections, so it'll be sort of segmented in different sections, they'd go to another page. I can do that, and wherever my cursor is where that section will go. And it also gives me some options, so I can have it go back to section 1 or go to section 2 after they complete it, or they submit the form after the section. But there are multiple ways I can set this up. Okay, maybe I decided after I did that I don't want a section, so what I can do is I can delete the section, or I can merge it with above. Since I have content down there, I definitely don't want to delete it, so I'm just going to merge it with the above, and that way I can get rid of the section. So let's take a look at what this would look like for a student. So if I click the eyeball, it's a preview button, and this is what the students would see when I, share this with them. So it's the back to school survey. You can see my picture, my videos there. You can see what the multiple choice looks like, and also the rating scale where they'd have to choose, how comfortable they are with their ability in ELA. Here's the drop down menu, and so you can see you have a variety of choices with Google Forms. So let's go back to the Google form that I'm editing, and let me show you some other things you can do. I can change this color palette here. I can keep it solid colors and change it to something like that, or they have themes that you can choose. So if I click on this picture icon, it's going to take me to some themes that they already have for me. Some of them are, work and school, party, just for fun, and some of them you can see have little animations. So depending on the topic, I like to change the theme a little bit to give them, something to look at. So that's just a quick overview of how to set up and create a new Google form. In some of the other sections, we're going to talk about exactly how to use these Google Forms in your classroom.